While waitressing, a woman asked me, "Are the shoes you're wearing comfortable to run in?" Her husband had just gotten up to use the bathroom. "Sorry, what?" I chuckled awkwardly. "Your shoes." She pointed down. Her hand trembled and she wasn't smiling. "They look like they're good for running in, even sprinting." I looked down at my sneakers. "I guess they are." "Why?" She ignored my question. "What size are they?" I furrowed my brows. "Size 7. Again, why?" She clasped her hands together like she'd just won the lottery. "I'm size 7 too." I thought she was either pranking me or high, but then she leaned close, her voice low, her eyes darted around. "I need to run, right now, but I can't run in these heels." I looked down at her feet, saw a pair of $10,000 diamond-encrusted Louis Vuittons. "So take your heels off." She glanced up at me. "Look outside." I did. Saw snow, ice coating the entire parking lot. "If I try to run barefoot, I'll slip. If I run in heels, I'll slip. Either way, he'll catch me." My stomach tightened. "Who is he?" "My husband." I paused. "He told me in the car that he's going to kill me tonight," she continued. My blood went cold. I saw what he packed in the trunk. I glanced toward the bathroom hallway. "Call the police." She laughed, bitter, quiet. "He is police. 15 years on the force. His buddies would arrest me before they'd help me." She squeezed my wrist. "Please, I need your shoes." I looked toward the hallway again. "How long do we have?" "I think he's taking a dump, so maybe 3 minutes. 4 max." I took a deep breath. "Okay, let's go. Bathroom, now." She stood up calmly, walked like nothing was wrong. I followed 30 seconds later, found her in the last stall. She'd already taken off her heels. I kicked off my sneakers. We swapped in silence. I still had no idea whether she was telling the truth, but I couldn't let myself not help. "Back door through the kitchen," I whispered. "Walk, don't run. He can see the parking lot from his seat." "What about when he comes back?" "I'll handle it." She grabbed my hands, tears in her eyes. "I don't know your name." "It doesn't matter. Go." She disappeared around the corner. I exhaled, walked back to the floor, wobbling in her heels, waiting for her husband to come back. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, nothing. I kept glancing at the bathroom hallway, expecting him to walk out any second. But 10 minutes later, their table was still empty. My stomach twisted. Did he see her? Did he run after her? I wanted to go check, but I couldn't walk in these heels. I could barely stand. I was thinking of what to do when suddenly, the front door exploded open. 4 cops ran in, hands on holsters. The whole restaurant went silent. They scanned the room, table to table. Then one of them pointed at me. "That's her." They rushed toward me. "Ma'am, put your hands where I can see them." I just stared at him. "What? Why?" "Hands, now." Every person in the restaurant was watching. "Turn around," they ordered. I turned. Cold metal on my wrists. "You're under arrest." "For what?" They didn't answer, just walked me toward the door. I saw my manager frozen behind the counter, my coworkers with their jaws dropped, everyone watching me get dragged out in handcuffs, wearing $10,000 heels I couldn't afford. Officers pushed me into the back of a squad car and drove me to the station in silence. I asked questions the whole way, but they wouldn't tell me a thing. The car pulled into the station. They walked me through the front entrance in handcuffs. That's when I saw them. The woman from the restaurant, with a man beside her, her husband, both in handcuffs as well, being led through the station just like me. My stomach dropped. Why were they here? Had they arrested him and taken her too? Why was I involved? The officer led me to a small room and handcuffed me to a metal table. Then a detective walked in. He slid a photo of the heels across the table. "What do you know about these?" I took a breath. "A woman at the restaurant gave them to me. She said her husband was going to kill her tonight. Said he was a cop, so she couldn't call for help." The detective's face didn't change. "She said she couldn't run on ice in heels, so we swapped in the bathroom. I gave her my sneakers so she could run. She gave me these. Then she ran out the back." Silence on the detective's end. "That's everything. I swear." He stared at me. "Interesting story." "It's the truth." The detective paused. "Her story's different." My stomach dropped. "Go to the restaurant, check the cameras, you'll see everything," I pleaded. He studied my face, then stood up and walked out. I spent the next 2 hours wondering how on earth my Saturday turned out like this. Eventually, a different detective walked in. He took my cuffs off. "You're free." I breathed a sigh of relief. "What happened?" I asked. "Footage confirmed you were telling the truth." He sat down across from me. "Here's why we arrested you tonight." I leaned in. 4 hours ago, there was a robbery at Lexington Luxury Mall. A $200,000 heist. On the way out, the criminals spotted a patrol car. They panicked and ducked into your restaurant to blend in. He slid my sneakers across the table. The criminals were the woman who gave you the heels, and her husband. They needed a fall guy. So they found you and made up the husband story so you'd willingly take the evidence. We'd find you in stolen heels. She'd disappear.